So this is a video about using modelling wire in Ed's Birds patterns. I've started with this design, which is the Major Mitchell's Cockatoo, to showcase this for the first time, but I've got a feeling that a lot of you will enjoy using modelling wire in the future on your projects in order for your birds to stand up. So before I go any further, the most important thing is to remind you that if you're going to use modelling wire at all, it is not going to be a toy. It means that it becomes ornamental. It really is so that you can position your birds and make them stand up on their own. It means that they won't be able to be played with as a toy with a child, because obviously it does have a piece of metal inside. Now, with 1 metre of modelling wire, which is how we're now selling it, the aluminium soft modelling wire, you will be able to stand up one bird. And that's because cut yourself a 40 centimetre length first that's going to go between the wings, and that will leave you with 15 centimetres twice for each leg. In the video that follows, you'll see how I then do that. So you've got 40 centimetres running across the top of the wings like that mean that you can position those wings however you want them to be. And then you've got two 15 centimetre lengths running through the legs. And that means that you'll be able to stand your birds up and they will stand up on their own. So this is a video about making Archer the Major Mitchell's Cockatoo. And what's very different and unique about this design is, or what I've tried to showcase, is the fact that underneath their wings, they've got these absolutely gorgeous plumage that's in a really contrasting orange colour. And you don't see that from the outside. So when these birds aren't in flight, you just see these plain cream wings. But what you've got underneath is this amazing flash of colour. So what you're going to do is make your 3 feathers on your wings, and then we're going to tack those into place before we sew the wings onto your bird. So you're putting the longest one to the straighter side. You see how we've got a curved side there? You're putting your longest one on the straighter side. Then I'd advise putting your shortest one in position on the opposite side. And then last, put your medium size one down the middle of that gap like that. So all you need to do is do a running stitch down the centre like that to secure that feather into place. Being careful not to go through both sides of the fabric. Obviously you have got a dual thickness fabric there, so just make sure that your stitches are just going under that first bit but not right the way through the whole wing, so you won't see these feathers from the outside. Then once you've got those secured into place, what you need to do is I'm going to need to reattach a cream piece of yarn in order to sew my wings into position. And this is when it gets really exciting, because we've done all this hard work crocheting these feathers to go underneath. We need to actually see them. So for the first time, I'm going to be using a proper modelling wire. This is now available to buy separately, so you can use it for your other animals as well. But I'm just going to show you how I've used the modelling wire to go into those wings so that the wings will sit in that stunning upright position like the cockatoo is coming into land, so you can see those feathers underneath. So once you've got your orange feathers in position, what I'm going to do to sew the wings on is reattach a length of yarn, because I've gathered and snipped that off when I closed off the tip of the wing before. So to do that, what I'm going to do is just bring some cream yarn in and then secure that by going around a stitch a couple of times. And then we're ready to sew them into position. So what you want to do when you're sewing them in is your straight line is on the front of the body. So do you see how you've got your straight line of your wings like that in a mirror? Your straight line is going to go on the front of the body. And what we want to make sure, so that we can use the wire to lift those wings up, is that we're only going to secure across the top of the wing. Whereas sometimes when we've traditionally been doing other Ed's animals, you might sew right the way down the front of a bird's wing. This time we're just going to sew up and across the front. So what I'm going to do is put a stitch in there like that. Tuck those orange feathers in, because you don't want to see the orange feathers across the top of the wing when you're putting them into place. And then sew that wing into position. So go right up and across the top. And you want this to be strong. If you're going to put this wire in and then use it to model them forwards, make sure that it's nice and strong join where you're attaching the wings onto the body. So right the way through like that. And I'm actually going to go back across so that I've got double stitches and put a few extra ones in at the front. Right, and then we are ready to add our wire. So the modelling wire comes in 1 metre long length, which to make a set of wings with a piece of modelling wire running through tip to tip, you're going to need around 40 centimetres. So what you will need is a strong set of scissors or wire cutters in order to cut this, and it's a 40 centimetre length that you just need to snip off first. So what we're now aiming to do is put a piece of modelling wire in through the chest that then runs out of each wings. And the easiest way to do this invisibly is take one end of your approximately 40 centimetre length of wire and push it into the central stitch on the chest, right the way through, and then down one wing. So what you're aiming to do is be inside the wing, inside those cream stitches without one end poking out. So go in like that, take your time, push one end right down, and if you've cut it to 40 centimetres, you should be able to get it to come out the end. Now I've come out a bit early there, but what I'm going to do is go back in a few stitches down and then come back out that end like that. And the great thing about this wire is it's really soft, so you can continue to change the shape of it once it's in. So don't worry about getting it right first time. Then what you need to do is get the other end of the wire, and you see how that's come out of one stitch. The really important bit to make this disappear is the fact that you need to get it in through that same stitch hole like that, so that the whole piece of wire will sit inside your bird. Now it goes without saying that this modelling wire is only for use if these birds are ornaments to go in your home, not to be played with, and certainly not for children. So just bear that in mind. You can obviously leave the wire out, and the cockatoo is still really attractive with those feathers underneath. It's not an essential part of the design, and definitely leave it out if they are going to be used if you're making them for children rather than as ornaments in your home. So I've got that piece of wire inside. I've got it slightly out the wing at the moment, too early on. I'm going to feed it back in and through until it comes out the other side. So then once you've got your piece of wire running right the way through both wings like that, it will come out the ends of both sides of the wing. This is what can then allow you to position those wings like that. So pull it forward so that cockatoo is in that classic coming into land position, and you see all those beautiful orange feathers underneath. So all you need to do then, once you've got your wire in place, is to snip it off at the ends, and that'll just disappear back inside those wings, so you won't be able to see your wire out, and your bird will have its wings in that gorgeous position. Now, if you're having fun with the modelling wire, it's actually very easy to also get your birds to stand up using modelling wire as well. So what you'll need to do here is you need to cut a length that runs up the legs. And the best way that I find, if you've got these legs that the cockatoo have got, where you've got 2 forward and 2 backwards, is run a length inside one toe like that, and then come up the leg right the way into the body and push it up right up the thigh until it gets into that body like that on the inside. There we go. And then do what we just did before, is snip that off at the end. And what I would actually do is then run one from one of the back toes. So from one of the front ones like that, and then run one from this back toe. So run that up the foot like that, and then up the leg. There we go, and then snip that off. And that means that your bird will then stand up and self-support because it's got those double wires running down the legs. So you'll be able to then position your bird and it will actually stand up wherever you want it to, which is a great way of using the wire. Now, there is an additional video for using wire in different ways as well, beyond this design and into other animals that I've made, like snakes and lizards, etc. So do take a look at that. What I've done there, what I'm just going to point out there is you see how that came out of the leg. This is why it's important that they're not for under 3s. It really is more ornamental, the way that we're using this modelling wire, so that you can stand them up in your home and then stand up really proudly on a shelf.